keep glitching.
Yeah, I think it's just the internet. I think the internet around here kind of gets spotty from time to time, which really fucking sucks. Come on, man. Why are you taking you so long? Okay.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I promise.
For the love of Christ!
I cannot, I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running.
It's acting stupid today. Well, we're just not going to do music today. My computer is acting a little slow today. We're just going to hop right into this, man. Let's get this bad boy started, Frankie. We'll figure this out some other time. My computer's acting crazy. Welcome to Unscripted. This is a little mini show, everybody. But we got Frankie the Yankee come out of hibernation, leaving Laker Nation for a hot minute to come talk about this quote-unquote Aaron Judge 9-year, $360 million deal he just signed. Before I give my thoughts on it, Frankie, man, how's it going, my brother? I know you're happy.
It's going good, Jay. I'm super excited. I'm ecstatic. There's music still playing in my headphones right now from the intro because it was working. I understand your computer was running a little slow and it's glitchy right now, but it was working for a minute, and then now the music just stopped. So thank you. Now I can hear very well. But I'm doing great, Jay. I'm really, really happy. Yesterday we were live and we mentioned about Aaron Judge. Is he going to re-sign with the Yankees or is he going to go with the Giants and stuff like that? And I woke up this morning with a big smile on my face. My wife gave me a kiss before she left to work. And then I go and I turn on the TV and my phone is just blowing up. And then the TV is just blowing up with breaking news that Aaron Judge, the almighty AL home run king, is coming back home and staying in the pinstripes and staying a Bronx Bomber, baby. I'm excited.
Yeah, as well you should be. Like I said, you got 9 years, $360 million. Got some questions though, man. I think it was about $60 million more than what Cashman really wanted to spend. But again, they stretched it out. When I look at this Yankees team, it really, really kind of has a lot of similarities in terms of to the Phillies team. So my question is, you guys are, definitely bringing Aaron Judge back was a pivotal piece. But that extra $60 million, I know this is the Yankees, and I know we don't have a cap. So, I mean, it really honestly doesn't have a whole lot of weight. But I'm wondering, you guys lost Taillon, which, I never really was a fan of Taillon. But still, now you got Frankie Montas that'll slide up in the rotation behind Severino, Cortez, and Cole. If you guys don't bring in a Rodon, and you really have not done anything to address that reliever core, which, Chad Hamill, he really wasn't the closer. We know that your other guy, Aroldis Chapman, well, hell, he didn't even play in the damn World Series. They left his ass at home. So I think you have issues at closer, you have issues at setup, you have issues at middle relief. Those are the areas which remind me so much of the Philadelphia Phillies, who have done an amazing, great job at building up that offense. And they finally have started to address their pitching needs. They brought in Walker, and then they brought in the other guy. What is that dude's name? Some dude that doesn't even really, he's like a 30-year-old reliever. Strom. They brought in Strom, that 30-year-old reliever. So they brought in Walker and Strom to kind of sort of help out their relievers, but in my opinion, really didn't do a whole hell of a lot. I don't really like Walker or Strom, but they did address a little bit there. But I see issues between the Phillies and the Yankees that are similar, man. What is your team planning to do, or what do you think they're going to do between now and after the winter meetings and we get ready for spring training to address what I think is the biggest need of all is at the Yankees level is your pitching. That's your biggest need. What do you think they're going to do? And also outfield. I think you still got a need in the outfield as well. What are they going to do about that?
Well, I agree with you. We have some pieces that are missing. Let me start off with the Jameson Tyone. I'm really happy for the man. He's got a good money contract going his way with the Chicago Cubs. Shout out to my boy Mike Hughes, who by the way should be coming on in a little bit because he wanted to come on the show with us. So he'll be on here in a little bit. But I'm not really upset with the Jameson Tyone move because we also brought in our pitcher from the Dodgers and Cannell. He used to be in the Yankees before for about a year, but he's a starting pitcher. So moving away from Tyone and bringing in Cannell, it helps out a little bit. Basically, they're kind of like the same. Had about the same ERA last year, so it kind of works out in our favor in that one. The relieving side, I'm not really focused on that. Clay Holmes is doing, Clay Holmes is going to be okay. The only reason why Clay Holmes wasn't looking like he did in the beginning of the season last year was because of injuries that hit him really late. Plus, he'll have some backup. We have Jonathan Loizaga. We have Lucas Lecky. We got players that can help him out. Also, we got Wandy Peralta. Everybody keeps forgetting that Wandy Peralta was taking in some roles as a clothing pitcher last year. So we got some people that are there. Do I want some more relievers and more pitchers? Yes. Everybody on the base, every baseball fan wants more relievers and more pitchers because that's what basically wins you the game. Sometimes is pitching. So do I want some more closers? Yes. Right now, I'm happy with where we're at and what we're doing. We're signing the main focus point. Our main focus point was getting Aaron Judge back. That was the main thing. Now that we got him back, now this is where Brian Cashman and Hal Steinberg can just look around and say, okay, now let's fill in the pieces that we need to get. We already got a pitcher that took over for Tyone because we knew that Tyone wasn't going to come back on a pinstripe. So we got Cannell. Let's look at some relievers. The left field, Benintendi's still a free agent. I don't know if he's going to return back to the Yankees, but I feel confident with Oswaldo Cabrera taking over at left field. He did have some time at left field last year during Andrew Benintendi's injury time, so I feel confident with Oswaldo Cabrera taking over left field. Do I want a better person that can probably be at left field? Absolutely. But right now, I feel comfortable with Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm just happy right now that we got Aaron Judge back, and now I can focus more on getting those little bit of more help in the pitching staff. It's kind of like a Rodon. If we get Rodon in our pitching staff, my Christmas is all set. I'm happy. I told Mike this morning. Which, by the way, baby Mike, how you doing, baby? How you doing, honey? I told Mike this morning, if Rodon comes to the Yankees, I'm going out in the streets and I'm Frank the Tank and I'm streaking all the way through New York. I don't really care.
Mike, the inheriting benefactor of the Tyone pitching. I'm not a big fan of Tyone, but again, I know you guys needed some pitching, and I think he will help address that with you guys. Again, I wasn't a big fan of Bellinger. I think Bellinger's been horrible, but maybe sometimes that change of scenery can bring back a guy. Maybe it brings back that 2019 Bellinger that got the MVP. But what is your thought process, number one, on your team and some of the additions you guys have been doing, as well as also, what do you think about this Yankees? Number one, bringing in Judge at 360, which is about 60 more I think the Cashman wanted to spend, as well as their blatantly glaring need at reliever, at closer, and every other thing besides Montas at the starting pitching. What do you think about all these things that are happening?
I think with the Cubs, more so with Cody, I really don't care. I really don't care too much. Like, I'm really happy we have Cody Bellinger. I love Cody Bellinger for what he is, and that's a great defensive outfielder at this very moment. I think I look at him kind of the way I looked at Trevor Bauer with the Reds on that 1 year where it's like, prove it kind of thing. You might be a Cy Young candidate. You might be a bust. But at the end of the day, I think we all understand whether he does poorly or whether he's very successful, he probably won't remain with the Chicago Cubs moving forward. I like it because our top 3 prospects in the MLB right now for the Chicago Cubs are Brennan Davis and Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong's only been in Double-A, and then he's killing it. He's killing it. I'll give him all that. But he's definitely not ready for the show at center field every single day. And then Brennan Davis, who's in Triple-A now, had a back surgery at the beginning of the season, missed a lot of time. So Cody just kind of takes the pressure off of that. So I think, just having him every single day out there, if he has an MVP season, I mean, hey, belly bombs all day. I don't really care. He's career 321 batting average in Wrigley Field, which is not great for the Cubs, but now it is. So it's definitely something, I'm looking forward to. I really don't see a future with it. Unless obviously if he has an MVP season, then we have that conversation, but it's decent. Tyone is a perfect signing for me, especially after I saw the amount of money that Walker got. Tyone looks like a steal because Walker got heavily overpaid by the Phillies, but
yeah, he did.
Yeah, 100%. But you look at, Marcus Stroman, Tyone now, and you still have Kyle Hendricks and a couple of young guns in Steele, Caleb Killian. You have Hayden Wesneski and a bunch of other guys. So I love what the Cubs did. And as for the Yankees, I'm just happy for Frankie. Honestly, I'm happy for Frankie. Feeling really shitty for all the Giants fans right now because, that was literally the offseason. That was all of it. But I was surprised it was a single-digit number when it comes to the years. I think that's really a good reflection for Aaron Judge to kind of understand where he's going to be 9 years from now. More like when you look at Trey Turner, and it's like, where do you really see yourself 11 years from now when you're 42 years old?
Exactly.
It's a weird thing. But Jay McLovin, I want to ask you a question, sir.
Absolutely.
What's your beef with Frankie? What's your beef with Frankie?
Yeah, what's your beef?
You can't let my man have 5 minutes? I saw your comment.
Look, man. No, look. I have no beef with Frankie, for crying out loud. I'm the uncle to his babies. We have a bond, me and Frankie. We have recently come to understand that, when it comes to baseball, okay. When it comes to personal life, okay. But here's the deal. Look, same thing with Trey Turner at 11 years. Look, Judge is 30, okay? And he's definitely his prime. No doubt about it, man. 39, he's 2 years past his prime. They gave him 360 for 9 years. That man passed 37. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a future fortune teller, but I struggle with the number of years. I don't know, man. 37, I think you're doing good. 39, I think you're past. I think that contract is. I'm really glad. If I was a Giants, I'd be glad they didn't get that damn contract. Honestly, just like I'm glad that the Astros didn't sign Verlander for 2 years at $86 freaking million.
You know what you did do, though, right? You know what you did do, right?
That money is better spent at other places. Like, for example, we need to go get Contreras. We need to go get Benintendi, and we're gonna get them.
Do you know Wilson Contreras is also 30?
And that's okay, but it's still 30 as a catcher. Well, we're gonna be fine. We're going to be fine.
An injury-prone catcher. But, Jay, my point was, I remember a time in 2019 when you gave $66 million to a 36-year-old Justin Verlander, and I just had to put my 2 cents in. I thought it was kind of ironic. I don't know.
And didn't hold on, Mike, and didn't he get Tommy John, I think, a year after that?
Hey, but after the Tommy John, did he get a World Series ring? Shut up.
Yeah, but you signed. Hold on.
He got a World Series ring. Damn it.
Hold on. Yeah, he did. But let's rewind that real quick. So, what did he? Hold on, Mike. What did Verlander sign with the Houston Astros again? How many years?
$66 million. It was like 2 years, 3 years. He was already 36.
2 years, 3 years. Okay, $66 million. You hold on, Jay. Jay, hold on. You guys had him in 2017, where your so-called first World Series title, quote unquote. We're not gonna say nothing about that. But after that, he gets injured. After that, he gets hurt.
Manfred either, okay? I'm gonna bring up your team. You gonna bring up my team?
Gets Tommy John.
Both some cheaters. I'm the only loyal person here.
He gets hurt. Goes on Tommy John, okay, and then he ends up leaving the Mets. So you guys basically wasted $66 million on Justin Verlander for nothing.
I don't know. Nothing. Do we waste it? Hey, we're competitive. We're doing pretty damn nice. I don't know if they really wasted it because you can't predict an injury at honestly, but at 39, the injuries are a little bit more prevalent. 36. Hey, if it happens, it happens. Look, an injury can happen anytime. But the older a player gets, you got to believe that the more likelihood an injury is going to occur. So I'm okay. Yeah, 36, it is what it is. He came back. We got a World Series. You got the Cy Young. It is what it is. I'm
Jay,
just saying that what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to get you to understand is our pitching staff was perfect. We really didn't need Verlander. We really honestly don't need Verlander. We got plenty of starting pitching. So to get that $45 million a year, $43 million a year off of our books, now let's just go get other pieces that we need. Like I said, a Contreras who can come do some spot catching, or bring back Tyler Gurriel, or go get Benintendi, bring back Brent. I mean, we can plug some smaller holes, and we're good.
Hey,
Look, we're World Series bad. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Can I ask you a question? Like completely just like asking. Oh, is he still here? I think his computer lagged out. Oh no.
He lagged out because he didn't want to hear that
Not
question.
McLovin.
He
Not
wasn't ready for
McLovin.
the question.
But no, I think it's. I haven't heard a single Astros fan talk about Carlos Correa potentially returning. I haven't heard a single Astros fan mention that, and I wonder if that's like now that Verlander's gone and Judge is gone, it's definitely a conversation to be had right now. Is Carlos Correa going to make an appearance?
Well, me knowing Jay for so long, I already know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say no. He doesn't want Carlos Correa back because of Jeremy Pena. That's the one big name he's going to throw out there. We got Jeremy Pena, the rookie shortstop. Look what he did this year. Man, our future is looking bright at the shortstop with Jeremy Pena. I already know the future on what he's going to say with Carlos Correa. If I'm Carlos Correa, I would not go back to Houston. There was a reason why you didn't re-sign with Houston, and you left them for a reason. So if I'm you, Carlos Correa, I would not go back to Houston. There's no need for you to go back to Houston.
I know a place. I know a place you can go. Right?
Yeah, now. I know a place too. I know a place too because IKF ain't the answer. So I know a place.
Get out of here. Get out. Get going. Get going.
Listen.
Still nothing.
Aaron Judge, 9 years, $360 million. Now I'm gonna ask you this because I know Jay wanted to, or he did ask me earlier. Does this potentially hold up the Yankees on possibly getting Rodon?
Hold up in what way?
Because Rodon is looking for possibly a couple of years, probably over a $120 million contract. Do you think the Yankees would throw that out to him?
I think it's a conversation. I think DeGrom and Verlander really set the market pretty high. And then you look at Walker, what Walker just got. I think that fucked everything because now it's like, I think Tunyon had, obviously, like that is what it is. It was a pretty solid 4 years, $68 million. I'm not too upset about it. 3.84 ERA. I think Jay's back. But it's definitely, I don't know. I think you hit it on the head a couple of years. He wants a few years. It's not a 7-8 year deal. And I think that's one of the biggest problems for me is kind of understanding where Carlos is at salary-wise and length-wise. I think if he wants a 5-year deal for 120, I don't think the Yankees would have any problem with that. Now, if you want a 2 to 4 or 2 to 3 year deal, I think there's a conversation where it's like, how much money do we really have? And that's going to be a problem.
Right. So your Cubbies, your beautiful little Cubbies, they signed Cody Bellinger. They signed Jameson Tyone. What else does your Cubbies need to do to compete for the division title?
I mean, the division title that's a whole different conversation in itself. The Cardinals look great. Obviously, that's what's going to happen. The Brewers are kind of imploding. The Cincinnati Reds, shout out Chris Gonzo and Pops, but not worried. The Pittsburgh Pirates, not worried. So right now, it's really Cubs versus Cardinals, and obviously you're going to throw the Brew Crew in there. Just by default, they're very well managed. But I'm honestly very on board with the conversation of bringing in 2 of the top 3 shortstops. And if that's still a possibility, I'm fully on it. If it's Kodai Senga or Carlos Rodon, whatever it may be, that's cool. But my big thing,
get off of Carlos Rodon, boy. Get off of Rodon.
My bad. Not like he's never been to Chicago before. But anyways, I do think, you look at it for what it is, and You put Nico Horner at second base. Let's say we bring in Dansby Swanson and Xander Bogaerts, or we bring in Xander Bogaerts and Carlos Correa, have one move to third, one play short. I think that's a beautiful, matchup right there in heaven, and that's exactly what you need. Now, the young guns that I mentioned, PCA and Pete Crow Armstrong and Brennan Davis, Matt Mervis, all these guys are going to come in time. James Triantos, the list goes on. It's you just kind of got to wait for the kids to show up, and that's really what it is. So competing for the division right now, I think there's still some work to be done. I think it'd be a competent team somewhere around 84, 85 wins if they bring in 2 top shortstops. But, you still got to wait for these guys to develop and come up, which will be probably 2024.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't think the St. Louis Cardinals are going to be as good as they were last year.
Probably not.
It's just my the reason why the Cardinals were as good as they were was because they had 2 players, one in Albert Pujols, and I forgot the other one, the catcher, who were on a retirement train basically, and the team was actually playing like a team for Albert Pujols. They wanted this guy to leave in a Cinderella story type of a moment, So with Albert Pujols gone, I don't see the St. Louis Cardinals being as elite as they were last year. I mean, yes, they got Jordan Montgomery from the Yankees, and he played great right after the All-Star break, or I'm sorry, right after the trade deadline. But towards the end of the season, he wasn't putting up those numbers that he did when he started with the Cardinals. So, and I know a lot about Jordan Montgomery. He's going to come out in this upcoming season. He's just going to look the same. He's going to look where he's going to have a couple of good games, and he's going to look a couple of games where he looks terrible. So I think the Cubs, like you said, if you guys do get a Xander Bogaerts or a Carlos Correa, if you guys were to get either of them or even get both of them, I'm telling you right now, the Chicago Cubs are going to win that division.
I think it's definitely possible. I think a big part of it too is, you look at how hard and how crazy Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado carried the team. I mean, both of them were MVP candidates, top at their class, Silver Sluggers this year. I mean, they are second to none when it came to their positions this year. I mean, they were phenomenal. Can they replicate that again is the question. Now, obviously, they're all-stars. They're going to be great, but their numbers were insane this year. And Jack Flaherty being another one of them as well. How healthy is he going to be? And what's going to entail in that? You got Jordan Montgomery as well, a bunch of other guys, Jose Quintana, whatever. But that's a huge question. Adam Wainwright said he was retiring. Now he's coming back. So what's his role going to be on the team? But, there's a lot of questions right now. And I think the Cubs have a great shot at kind of just not worrying about that. They're kind of just worrying about, what they're putting together more so than what everybody else is doing. And I think that's the beauty of it.
One name that I want to throw out there, Brandon Nimmo. He was from the New York Mets, center fielder, currently a free agent, not likely to go back to the New York Mets, but it looks like and it sounds like that he is likely to stay in New York. Now, I don't want to keep talking about my boys, but Brandon Nimmo, he's a good center fielder. Where do you see Brandon Nimmo potentially going in this upcoming season? He did average a point. He did average a .274 with 16 home runs. Where do you think fits best for Brandon?
I think it's going to be interesting, and I think the Yankees are going to be such a huge part of why he goes to where he does. Right now, the Giants have to do something, and they need to bring in another bat, and that's one of the biggest problems. Now, you look at their shortstop position or their infield in general, and it's pretty set. I don't think they would say no to a Carlos Correa. I don't think they would say no to somebody along those lines. But Nimmo is one of those guys definitely think they would be interested in bringing in. And I think it's one of those guys that by default is kind of the plan B if you don't get an Aaron Judge. So I think the Yankees are going to be a huge part of why he leaves New York. And I mean, all power to him. I mean, you guys would be fucking the Mets over, So I mean, it's a beautiful thing. 2 birds, 1 stone. I mean, it's exactly what I know my boy Frankie has wet dreams about. So, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what his market looks like now, because teams are going to get a lot more desperate as more guys continue to sign. Guys who don't deserve. Let's not say not deserve, but guys who typically wouldn't get this money are now going to, because guys like Dansby Swanson, Carlos Correa, Aaron Judge are all going to sign. You look at it, Carlos Rodon's a perfect example. Verlander's gone, DeGrom is gone, and they've kind of set that market. There's not much else left. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be really hot seat to see what happens with him.
Houston Astros. I'm waiting for Jay to come back in here. His weak ass connection with his laptop, and so I want him to come back in here, and I want to just throw this in his face. I really am praying and hoping. Yeah, like he's talking about, oh yeah, we got great pitching. We got good pitchers and stuff like that. We didn't need Justin Verlander. What happens if about 2 of those pitchers get hurt? What is Jay going to deal with? What is the Houston Astros going to deal with? Now they're going to, look at it like, damn, we should have kept Verlander. We should have tried to re-sign him. And then we're going to hear Jay being like, oh, well, it was a time and place where Justin Verlander wanted to do something bad. I would have loved to have Justin Verlander stay. But, it's what Justin Verlander wanted to do. Listen, Jay McLovin. Man, I wish you were in here. I'm going to just pause right there because I'm going to wait till he comes back. I'm going to just pause because I want him to hear this. I'm not the type of person to go on somebody's comment and write something without tagging them, right? I like to tag a person and let them see it. So I'm going to wait till he comes in here and rub it in his face a little bit because I know for a fact he's saying that Verlander leaving is it's okay. He doesn't care. Because he didn't want to give him the money for 2 years that he wanted to be there or look for because they got good pitching and stuff like that. Listen, if a pitcher goes down, he's going to look at it and say, damn, we should have kept Verlander. But we're going to wait for that one. What do you see now that Aaron Judge has re-signed with the Yankees? What do you see going forward on some potential big name? Like Carlos Correa might go to the Chicago Cubs. We did mention the San Francisco Giants. They threw out $360 million up there for Aaron Judge. Now they can throw out that $360 million. They can separate it and spread it out a little bit. What big name do you see left in the free agent market that's going to go to a different team? Do you have any insight on that?
I think, the one I'm waiting for the most is Carlos Rodon. And I think that reasoning is kind of understanding the way things are going. Like, I know for a fact, the Trey Turner stuff was an anomaly because the other 3 candidates, Dansby Swanson, obviously Carlos Correa, and Xander Bogaerts at their age, probably, and so production really weren't be getting anywhere near what he got in length and everything else. But it's also the Bryce Harper effect if he wanted Trey. So that's definitely something you need to take into consideration. But for the pitchers, I would say Carlos Rodon is probably the one that falls next, or Kodai Senga, because you look at it for what it is. And, obviously Tunyon is signed. You obviously Verlander, you look at DeGrom and now Walker as well. And it's like now that market is fully set. So everybody has a good understanding of what everybody's going to be getting next. So I would say Senga or Rodon are probably going to be next. It's another pitcher. And then I think the shortstops are waiting for the next guy to fall because you already know what Trey got. So this is the most I'm probably going to get. Now let's see what the second guy gets so I can kind of dictate where I'm going to be.
Right. For those of you who don't know, I just want to throw it out real quick. Aaron Judge was in San Diego planning to meet the Padres sometime today if a deal didn't struck with the Yankees. Now that the deal has struck early this morning, it looks like Aaron Judge is no longer going to meet with the Padres. So sorry, San Diego, or sorry, San Diego. I'm really sorry that your hopes were high and you really thought that you were going to come into the market, but this was between the Giants and the Yankees. Padres, you can see yourself out of here. You guys are, it sucks for the Padres right now. You guys just lost Josh Bell to the Cleveland Guardians. That's insane. Jay, welcome back.
Hey, yeah. For some reason, my phone does better than my computer is right now. So, yeah, that's actually stupid. But hey, I heard what you were asking me about when you said, "What do we do if 2 of our starters get hurt?" I'm assuming maybe you're talking about possibly Javier, maybe Garcia. And my
See,
answer,
he's already naming it. He's already naming them, Mike. He's already naming the pitchers.
no. I'm just saying maybe that's what you're referring to. And if so, don't worry about it because you probably haven't heard of a guy named Hunter Brown yet, even though he had a 2-0 start coming up out of the rookie league with an ERA under 1 and a WHIP under 1. You probably haven't heard of Hunter Brown yet, but don't worry about it because you're going to hear about him this year. Don't worry about it. You probably didn't hear about Garcia either. Probably didn't hear about him or a few other guys we possibly have. So to answer your question, Frankie, we're so damn deep, it's stupid. I should almost actually rent some pitchers to you because I feel so bad for the Yankee organization. So if you need some rental players, I could probably throw a few your direction if you need it. Because God knows.
We don't.
Hey, hold on. God knows to answer your question because God knows Frankie Montas, the original or the Frankie 2.0, the Yankee Montas, didn't exactly do it for you this year, did he?
You know why though, right? You know why?
Hey, I'm just asking for
no.
I
mean, you know why though, right? That's because Frankie Montas is actually playing real baseball. He's not in the farm of Houston learning how to cheat in baseball.
See that I knew that was going to be your default. That's how I had to dismiss.
Jay,
that.
I do want to ask you though, and it is a legitimate conversation.
No, that's okay because we're the World Series champions. You can ask the World Series champions.
Don't throw me in this. I didn't say shit.
I'm just saying,
I didn't say that.
We're the World Series champions. He could say that now. He couldn't say that in the year of 2018 though because they got caught cheating. He couldn't say that.
Let me ask you this, Frankie. I still got some of the New York Yankees in my dustpan. If you want to, I can scrounge up a little bit and send it your way in an envelope. But anyway, Mike, I know you probably had a legitimate question. Go ahead.
You say that too much because you said, let me ask you this, and you did not ask a question. You just made a statement. Anyways, a big thing,
punchline, leave me alone.
A big thing not a lot of people talk about is the change of positions of, a rotation. And obviously, I'm not saying statistically it's an issue or the command is an issue or any of those guys that you have on the roster right now aren't qualified to be the next ace with Verlander gone. But do you think there is a potential shot? I don't think Javier would have an issue. I don't think Pablo would have an issue or any of those guys, but other guys having to climb that ranking of having more responsibility, being 3 instead of a 4 or a 5 instead of, just coming out of the bullpen. Do you think that's going to be an issue for some of the roster to kind of adjust to kind of climbing the order with Verlander gone?
I think that order was kind of even established even when Verlander wasn't there, and then Verlander just kind of came back and took up the natural number 1. I think the natural number 1 for Houston has always kind of been, well, when I say always, since Verlander went down with the elbow injury, it required Tommy John. I think Framber Valdez just kind of naturally stepped up into that. And I think Javier kind of naturally stepped up into this number 2 spot. I mean, both of those guys are pitching under 3. Both of those guys are pitching phenomenal. Both of those guys know how to pitch extremely well to the Yankees. Both of them have really good command. And I think a lot of times people overlook Lance McCullers because of the injuries that he has sustained. But
you heard what he just said? He's pitching well to the Yankees. You think I didn't hear that? I heard what you threw in there. You said they're pitching well to the Yankees. You little asshole.
Well,
I heard that.
4-0. I don't know what else you want me to say. But no, seriously. Hey, and for real, well, let's see. Yeah. We did take the double hitter from you too. Oh, wow. Wasn't that interesting? What a time to be alive. No, but listen, a lot of people overlook Lance McCullers. The guy's got an ERA under 3 as well. He had a couple of little rough outings there because he had been off for so long. But when he came back off of that injury, he pitched really, really well. So don't overlook Lance McCullers and what he's going to do. He'll be our natural number 3. Then we'll look at probably either a Quiddy or a Brown as our number 4 and possibly even number 5. And then have Garcia, who is another starting pitcher. Most likely they'll probably put him in the bullpen and let him do bullpen appearances. But don't forget, our reliever setup is beautiful between Abreu, Stanek, Montrose, and then Presley. I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? Our pitching is on point. And if anybody tells you differently, they're not watching the Astros. And I didn't even mention Hunter Brown even in there.
Nobody is watching the Astros. You're the only one watching the Astros.
Well, that's okay. We're the World Series champions. What do you want me to do, Frankie? I can't give you a championship. No matter how much money you pour out, I can't give it to you. You got to earn that.
I don't need it.
You got to earn that.
I got 27 of them, motherfucker.
Hold on. Let's be honest. Let's take it.
Yes, I'm waiting for
check it for a minute.
28, but I got 27 of them, and I'm gonna say it till the day I die, motherfucker.
I will tell you this, and see, I like Frankie getting so upset. But that's just love. That's Frankie showing love to me right now.
You need 25 to catch up. Get 25 more, and then we'll talk.
26, really.
And hey,
thank you. Yes, 26.
Out of 26, Frankie's only been alive for like 3. Anyway,
5.
Hold on a minute though. Hold on. Listen.
More than you.
Hey, no,
you've been alive for 60 years and watched him win 2-1.
Hey, you just got a pretty good thing going. I think he's going to be around for a minute. Don't look past us. But no, hey, look, man. I think if we get Brantley, not Brantley. Well, we will get Brantley, but I think if we get Benintendi to throw in the outfield to go along with Tucker. I think if you have Tucker, Benintendi, and if we can get Brantley back under the fold, that'd be great. If not, then it'll probably be Alvarez. But I think we're gonna have a pretty damn good outfield, man. Honestly,
you sound like the Giants right now when they were talking about Judge. Yeah, and the outfield's gonna be great, man. We're gonna have Judge in the right field. We're gonna have this guy in the center. Now you're over here like we're gonna get Benintendi in left field. Now what would happen
last year? Man?
What would happen if the Yankees were to re-sign Benintendi?
I'm not worried about it. We'll re-sign Brandon. Even if we don't, we still got Tucker, McCormick, and Alvarez. Last time I checked, all of them got World Series rings, and all of them swept.
Last time I checked, Alvarez sucks in left field.
It's not a big deal.
Last time I checked, Alvarez sucks in left field. That's why he's always the DH.
It's okay. He can suck in left field. I still got Jake Myers, and we can do this.
Who's that again? Yeah.
You say yeah, coming from a guy who got swept. You got a lot of balls. Considered you were swept.
I could get swept, and I'm
like you didn't even deserve to be there.
Because I got rings on my finger, mother.
But anyway, I want to take a check. I will be honest with you. The one team that really I think has really progressed and actually has stepped up their game is the Philadelphia Phillies.
No,
that team right there actually has stepped up. They brought in, even though they give him an exorbitant contract, Trey Turner is still Trey Turner, and he's going to fit nicely in with Schwarber, Hoskins. And when they do get Harper back at the All-Star break, that's going to be a really nice, a real Milto. They have a really good lineup over there. They did bring in some pitching. We'll have to see how that turns out for them. But we all know that the Phillies' weakness was their relievers. Now, they brought in some relievers to address that. We'll have to see how that pans out for them. But I will tell you, man, Yankees don't scare me for shit. Nobody in the AL really truly scares me for anything because nobody really upgraded their team more than what they had last year. Well, the only one that I think truly upgraded was the Phillies. Hell, the Dodgers lost. The Mets, they did basically a lateral move with Verlander and DeGrom, who really stepped up this year and improved their ball club to a level that can get more than what they got last year. You name me one team outside of the Phillies. Okay, you're going to say the Cubs. Go ahead.
I did. I got better.
And I'll give you that.
I will say one team that got a little bit better. The Cleveland Guardians adding Josh Bell.
I don't know, man. Do you really think so? Josh Bell's
a dog. Josh Bell's a dog.
You think he's a dog?
Adding Josh Bell to the Cleveland Guardians. You got Ramirez. You still got Ramirez.
Josh Bell is better than Abreu.
You think so?
Put that to the bank. He's younger. He's better.
Abreu was batting, a little over 300. Josh Bell was batting around the low 2s.
100%.
Well, Josh Bell had I think it was like 2. I know I'm probably off on this by a little bit, by 20 or 30, but I think it was about 235, 245. I think is where Josh Bell was towards because we know he disappeared in the playoffs. We know that.
Everybody disappears in the playoffs.
Everybody disappears in the playoffs. Aaron Judge disappeared in the playoffs. Jose Altuve disappeared in the playoffs. Josh Bell.
Hey, you know who did disappear in the playoffs? Pena.
Justin Verlander.
Hey, you know who else didn't disappear? Tucker. Hey, you know who else didn't disappear? Alvarez. They're still looking for that home run ball, by the way. I think it's down there past 5th Street. They're still looking for that ball. You're the one that went.
It's 10:30 in the morning. I'm pretty sure Jay's drunk off of two bottles of whiskey.
I wish. Hey, look, I only got a pint, motherfucker. It's recession. No, but hey, in all honesty, man, hey, Frankie, I know you really want to judge, man. Even though you were telling me, Judge Lee is whatever. We're going to do. No, you want to judge. And I always knew you.
No, obviously I want to judge. And I've been saying that all offseason. I want to judge. But at the end of the day, you know, just like you, when Justin Verlander left, you wanted Justin Verlander to stay,
I
but if
wanted
he
Verlander.
left, he
And don't
left.
get me wrong, I did. But at the same time, I knew that Verlander left. It wasn't going to impact my team nearly as much as Judge leaving the Yankees. Judge leaving the Yankees was a huge impact on that, and you know that.
Yeah, obviously. But then again, I wouldn't have been really so mad because the 300 at first it was $300 million, now 360. We could have spread, like I said to Mike earlier, we could have used that money and spreaded it out to where we could have got more of a decent young core players around the league. You know, we could have aimed for maybe a Carlos Correa at shortstop and move away from IKF with that. We could have probably, you know, right now, if he would have turned that down, we probably would have had what's his name, Rodon. We probably could have signed him already if Aaron Judge didn't take this offer. So I would have been really not that mad because, like I said, that money could have been spread around elsewhere. But of course, I'm excited that the man is coming back. This is the AL home run king, motherfucker.
He said AL home run king. Hey, nobody's gonna take that away from him, man. 62 home runs, phenomenal. I just, you know, my fondest memories of Judge is us just back-to-back striking his ass out. It was just such a beautiful thing, honestly.
Yeah, that was a good time for you, right?
Out or him getting that 62 home run and giving up the Triple Crown and destroying his overall average. I don't know, but it was a beautiful thing to watch.
I would rather have the home runs.
I don't know, man. I'd rather have that Triple Crown. If Judge could have got, you know what? And the thing about it is, everybody talks about how, and nobody's going to take away from Aaron Judge, but I swear to God, I mean, outside of Babe Ruth, man, I still think one of the best players in all of baseball, and he doesn't get enough recognition, is Ted Williams, man. Yeah, that dude has 2 Triple Crowns. Had a Triple Crown, went to World War II, came back 3 years later, gets another Triple Crown, goes to Korea, comes back and gets another home run record. I mean, the dude was just stupid good. And I feel like a lot of times we overlook just how good Ted Williams was, man. I think that guy is so overlooked.
Do you think now that Aaron Judge has had solidified himself as the AL home run king, tying Roger Maris to 62, do you think now next year he can focus on getting that Triple Crown? I think he can now.
I think it's time to focus on a World Series.
That too, definitely.
No. Let him focus on Triple Crown because we don't care about Triple Crowns. We just care about rings at this point.
Yeah,
but you were just talking about him not getting a Triple Crown.
That was probably one of the biggest factors that went into him staying with the Yankees.
And I think so. Probably. Yeah. I agree. I think so. I think you're right. And I think it was a smart move, honestly. I think it was a smart move for him to stay at the AL side. I think the pitching in the NL side is a little stronger, honestly. I do. Across the board, across the league. So I think him staying over there does give him a better opportunity of getting that Triple Crown. Hopefully he will focus more on making the ball in contact rather than just trying to hit for power. You know, if he can work on his contact hitting, and that, which is going to improve his average, right? It'll improve his average. It'll improve his RBIs, a lot of that. So
you know who's going to get the Triple Crown next year? Anthony Rizzo.
Nah, Anthony Rizzo ain't getting shit.
100%.
If you think Anthony Rizzo's getting the Triple Crown, okay. And who am I to say no? Hey, maybe he does. Maybe. Hey.
With the shift gone, anybody could do anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now that the shift is gone.
Let's speak about that. Let's speak about that.
And all I know is Tucker. You watch now that the shift is gone away. You watch how high Tucker's batting average goes now, and how high his on base percentage goes. Because when they don't shift on Tucker, his on base percentage is exponentially higher, and he's already damn near number one in his position in right field for where he hits and where he plays. So I think it's gonna be phenomenal. But again, defensively though, for the Astros, we live and die on the shift. So that could be a weakness for us, you know, now that the shift is going away. So it's going to be good and bad a lot of different ways, right? I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Jose Quintana, $26 million deal, 2 years with the Mets.
Thank God. Thank God. Good. Fuck him.
Mike, tell me how you really feel, man. Damn.
I hate Jose Quintana, man.
Hold on, Jay. Did you just say Justin Tucker is the best right field hitter?
No, I said he's just best at that position, not necessarily just specifically hitting. I'm just saying overall at the right field position. Go look it up.
He's not better than Bryce Harper.
Go look at his stats. Hey, tell me, just go look at the stats and then come back and let me know what you find. Last year,
you do know the current MVP is a right fielder, right?
No, I'm talking about on-base percentage. On-base percentage, I think is. I know one of those categories. No, I saw it several times where they were.
He's saying on-base percentage. Did he just say on-base percentage, Mike, or did he say
well,
right field?
With that being said,
overall. No, what I said was overall at his position, they had him. And again, we're not talking just hitting, Frankie. We're talking about the whole kibosh.
He's being nitpicky. But while Jay does that, I gotta go hit the dentist. I'll catch y'all fellas on the real.
And
go get
them pearly whites staying pearly white.
Nah, I gotta go fix my cracked ass tooth. Jesus Christ. But I'll catch y'all.
Stop messing around with those rough women, and you won't have to wear those damn crap. No. Hey, look, man. Hey, honestly, Frankie, man. In the world of sports, though, man, and baseball in total, man, I think there's been a lot of movement recently, man. A lot of movement, and I think now the biggest free agent out there now to wait on is just Rodon. And where does he sign? Because let's be honest. Yeah. Let's be honest. Correa, I could care less where Correa goes. Bogarts, I could care less where Bogarts goes. Rodon, there is a lot of pitching issues or a lot of pitching holes needed in this league. And I think, like you said, I think the Yankees are definitely in there. They definitely need a Rodon to go behind Cortez, right? You probably put Rodon probably third of the rotation, right? You'd have Cole.
I would put Rodon in second.
And either way, right? I'm just saying that's your top three. Then you got Severino at the 4, and then if you want to put Montas in there, you'll put him at there at number 5. What I'm saying is you need a Rodon to really solidify that starting. But the Mets need the same damn thing because now they got Verlander, they got Scherzer, but they just don't have that true, really great number 3. And if they get Rodon, what does it do for them? And hey, the Mets weren't too far out, so it's going to be interesting, the battle of the New York teams as to who can get Rodon, or does he go even someplace?
I don't think the Mets are going to try and aim for Rodon because, like I said earlier,
I don't think you need Rodon.
No, you don't.
I think you need relievers.
You need relievers, and you need to start looking at center field because, like I said, you're losing Nimmo. Nimmo's leaving the Mets. He's not unless you're going to re-sign him. And I haven't heard nothing about him thinking about re-signing. All I heard was that he's moving on from the Mets, and the Mets are possibly not looking to re-sign him. So if that's not going to happen, you're going to have to start looking at who's going to protect your center field. I don't know who's the backup.
I think your 3 biggest needs. I think the Yankees' 3 biggest priorities in this order would go: number 1, closer; number 2, middle relief or setup man; and then number 3 would be your outfield. I think that's got to be your top 3 priorities in that order. I think you've got to find your closer. You might be able to write out Hamill for a season, but I tell you, and again, let's not forget, and sometimes I even forget, man, because these guys went on the DL. I mean, what any of your pitchers coming? You lost quite a few relievers. I know we lost Green, and then you lost the other guy. It starts with an M. I can't say his last name, Frankie. I know you know it.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Closer Kenley
or something like that, or
closer pitcher Kenley Jansen from the Atlanta Braves had just signed a 2-year, $32 million contract with the Boston Red Sox.
Damn, Pride's gonna love that shit.
Pride's gonna love it, and Logan's gonna hate it. Also, Catania signing a 3-year deal with the Mets also shows me that they're not gonna go for a Rodon because he's a left-hand pitcher from the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's craziness. All right, Frankie, we're going to wrap this bad boy up because I got to show up one. But and Blue's over there, he done got into the trash, and now my apartment looks like a waste field. That's what happens when you leave the trash and you think Blue's not going to get into it while you do a show.
Yeah, boy, Blue.
Lessons learned. Hey, lessons learned. If you ever get a French Mastiff, and you think you can do a quick 10-minute show, which we know is never going to be 10 minutes, but if you think you can do a 10-minute show and you think that trash is not going to get jacked with, people, think again. It happens. But again, I'm going to highlight it. So Judge gets the 9-year, $360 over there with New York. And as you heard, a few other signings have happened, but the biggest one, obviously, clearly is Judge. Now we're going to turn our attention to Rodon, find out where Carlos signs now that Verlander, DeGrom have kind of set the bar for this young man. This is your boy, Frankie, the Yankee. Happy as all hell. Look at him, smiling ear to ear, having a great day. Probably going to go out there, shovel some snow, feeling good. Maybe he goes out there and he puts Aaron Judge's initials in the snow in his front yard. Frankie, man, final thoughts for week Jeff on out of here. All rise.
All rise, baby. The judge, the jury, the executioner is staying in the Bronx, and I'm so excited. But yeah, like Jay said, man, keep up with us. If you haven't done so already, please go on Twitter and follow us. All one word at Unscripted Guys. We're giving you guys literally updated content every second of the day, especially now with baseball and free agency getting crazy. After Aaron Judge re-signing with the Yankees, and a couple of players now, Katana and Kenley Jansen, already getting taken off the board. So more players are now likely to get taken up. So follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you guys updated. You can also follow us on TikTok. I don't know the name on that one. All one word. What is it? Unscripted Sports. Unscripted Sports. All one word. On TikTok, you can follow us there as well for your updated content. Whatever podcast or whatever social media you use, we're there. Other than that, man, I don't got nothing else to say. I'm probably going to jump on that 1 o'clock afternoon show with you and Chris, honestly.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. I don't know what it is about saying the word Aaron Judge, all rise, and Yankees in the same sense, but apparently it really makes me sneeze my ass off. So that just tells you how I feel about the beautiful Yankees. No, I'm kidding. Look, I love the Yankees because as much as I hate the Yankees, man, when I think of America, honestly, when we think of America, we think of two big sports. We think of the Yankees out there.
You're saying this live right now.
I know. We think of the Yankees, and we think of the Dallas Cowboys. Those are two. And then we throw in the Lakers. All right, Cowboys, Lakers, Yankees. I mean, let's just look. I'm just saying those are America echelon teams that we think about. I mean, honestly, we do. And it's okay, man. Hey, what a time to be alive. I will say this. When the Astros face the Yankees, and you know what? I'm really glad. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, Frankie, I'm really glad the Judge did sign with you guys because I fully expect the Yankees and Astros will be in another grudge match this year before the 2023 World Series, and we're gonna relive this all over again. And every time Aaron Judge comes up, Frankie will say, "All rise," and then Jason will say, "All sit down." Court adjourned. No, I'm being silly, but it is going to be amazing, guys. If you don't think the Astros and the Yankees aren't going to be in the ALCS again this year, then you're not watching baseball. You certainly aren't watching free agent signings.
It's honestly, Jay, the new rivalry. We've taken over a new rivalry in a new era of baseball, to where now everybody, when they watch baseball, they're waiting to see the Yankees versus Astros because so much has happened, honestly, dating back to 2015. From 2015 to now, I don't know how many times we've met each other in the playoffs. It could be divisional or it can be ALCS, but we have met each other so many times to where we've created a new rivalry in baseball in this
era. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Astros and the Yankees. Yes, it is.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's almost like North and South. North meets the South.
Yes.
Let's go, baby, all day. Hey, like Frankie said, man, catch us on Twitter. Unscripted Guys, all one word. Frankie does a hell of a good job building up that Twitter over there and keeping you guys posted on the new updates. And then check out Logan over there on TikTok, Unscripted Sports, all one word. Logan does a really good job as well over there. And don't forget, Unscripted, followed by the date for YouTube. You can find us there as well as on Facebook under Unscripted, All Sports, All Plays Unscripted, Tiki Live Unscripted. I mean, we're all over the place. And God, I can't think of a better show to do with a better bunch of crazy guys than what we have here, man. I love this show. I love these guys. And until next time, Frankie, put on the music and let's get out of here, baby.
I don't have the music, Jay.
I have no idea how to end this damn show, man.
You're gonna have to go try back on your computer.
Hey,
this is the greatest
all
part.
I know is what a time
show.
to be alive, man.
This is why we're called Unscripted, because of moments like this. We're not truly scripted. So until Jay logs in and turns our stream off, I guess we can still talk.
Anybody want to talk about some bullshit while I figure this out?
Also,
hey, text Gonzo. Tell Gonzo to log in and get us out of here. Gonzo can do it. Hey, text Gonzo real quick.
Also,
while I figure this out,
the Pittsburgh Pirates have won the draft lottery for the MLB draft. They have now secured the first overall pick.